I just think again, it always comes back down to the connection. I think football is always, there's, we talk about our core values, and there's always these truths, and football changes. There's things that, scheme changes, the ebbs and flows of the way the game's being played changes. But at the end of the day, it's always going to, do you play with detail, right? Did you play with detail? Did you play with fundamentals? That's what I mean. Detail, football IQ, all those different things. Did you play tough, right? And did you play together? Like, those things don't change. And so one thing I've noticed is just, and so we always kind of talk about that, but I really feel like this team continues to, I just think, hey, we got some really good teammates and coaches that are just, everyone's, just so locked into becoming better. And I do feel like that everyone's locked into becoming better. And I think I felt that way last year too, don't get me wrong. So, we had it didn't work. There was things that happened last year that we feel like we've corrected, that we're on the right track, and try not to focus. We've made those corrections already to last year. And so we're trying you don't focus too much on that. You just work on what you can try to build each day. But I really feel like this team continues to grow closer each day. We got great teammates. We got great leaders. Winning is contagious. And so you build on that success that you've had. But I think the other thing I see is just the hunger of everyone, to get better. And that's all I can point out from this year's team. Forget last year's team. We've learned from those mistakes that we've made from last year. Myself, the team, everybody. I really noticed this year's team that we're getting closer as a football team, and just have that hunger to get better each day.
Last one.
Offensive-minded head coach. When you look at Sean McVay, what do you see? What do you like?
Yeah, I think Sean has done an unbelievable job there for a long time. Was it 7-8 years for him as the head football coach? So he's had a great run to date, and has been at the top of the mountain. And I have a lot of respect for his scheme. I have a lot of respect. One thing I always want guys to respect on our team is that we play with great fundamentals, because, that we put a lot of time into that. I always see that from his guys, and I've always seen that from his guy, even dating back to when I knew he was a wideout guy and he was at Washington. I was like, man, his wide receivers play the game the way I envision receivers playing the game. So I've always respected that about him. And like, looking at afar, you always try to study guys, and I got so much respect for his leadership. We have some of the strength guys that were here with him, and I've always, I've been very curious about, hey, what would Sean do in this situation? What would Sean do in that situation? You always try to learn from people. And so, again, when you watch the tape, it's obvious he's a great football coach with the details and the fundamentals of what he's, and obviously the scheme. I think he gets talked a lot about with his scheme and all those things, but you see it in his players of how good they play the game. And so that's a tribute to his players, but that's a tribute to his coaches, the coach as well. And then, like I said, I just admire his leadership from afar. I don't know him well, but I really admire his leadership from afar, and how he's been through. Talk about a guy who's had up seasons and some slight down seasons, and then recovers back. And man, can't say enough good things about him and what I think of him as a football coach and a person.
All right.